In this video, I'll be ranking every Minecraft minigame in a tier list. From Bedwars to Hunger Games, I will rank the worst and the best of the most popular Minecraft minigames all in this video. This is the peak Minecraft minigame tier list. Also, if you like this video, you are giving me more views, so you have the power to help me and I'd really appreciate if you did. And now, the tier list. Just in case you don't know, the way this tier list works is that there's 5 tiers: best, good, average, faulty, and bad. And I'll be putting each Minecraft minigame in one of these tiers. And now let's rank our first minigame. UHC, also known as Ultra Hardcore or just Pain, is a minigame where you spawn into a naturally generated map with around 50 to 200 other players, with just the goal to survive. And it's definitely called Ultra Hardcore for a reason, because in standard UHC, along with not being able to respawn, you also can't regenerate health like you would in normal Minecraft. Instead, the only way to regen health in UHC is with items like golden apples and suspicious stew. So this is definitely not a very casual minigame. But one thing about UHC that is really unique is the fact that it was made by the members of the Minecraft SMP. That's right, back in 2012, the Minecraft members wanted a fun way to challenge themselves, so they made the first version of UHC with the intentions of beating the Ender Dragon. But then they thought it would be a lot more fun if they tried to kill each other instead. And after they did that, a lot of people wanted to play UHC themselves. So then servers like Hypixel added their own UHC minigame for everyone, and that's the version of UHC you see today. Now, while UHC can be really intense and exciting, people who just want a more fun experience might not enjoy UHC all that much. So I think Ultra Hardcore is a faulty tier. Build Battle. Now, Build Battle is a minigame where you and several other players are given a theme, and you have a time limit to build the best creation you could build relating to that theme. And then when you're done building, you and the other contestants rate each other's creations to see who wins. Now, Build Battle is pretty unique because unlike most other minigames, you are exclusively in creative mode for Build Battle. Both being in creative mode also comes a lot of freedom, so you could technically ignore the theme you're given and just build whatever you want, which is really cool, but it also leads to a lot of this. Oh no. No. Another problem Build Battle has is since you vote for everyone else's builds at the end of the game, a lot of people just choose to vote poorly for everyone's build to sabotage them, even if the builds were actually good. A lot of servers also have a teamed mode where you can build something with a teammate, which can add a cool new element to the minigame. But if you're looking to have fun, Build Battle is a pretty decent average tier. Now, Spleef, also sometimes known as TNT Run. So Spleef is widely regarded to be the first ever Minecraft minigame, and it definitely shows. I mean, Spleef is extremely simple. All you have to do is try to make other people fall down and not fall down yourself. Now, when Spleef started getting popular, minigame servers didn't even exist. So the fact that you didn't need any fancy redstones or plugins to play Spleef really helped to make it a staple game mode. I mean, all you had to do was get some snow blocks and a shovel and anyone could play. But like I said, Spleef was seen as the first ever minigame, so it introduced a whole new way to play Minecraft. Since before Spleef, everyone just thought Minecraft was nothing more than mining, crafting, and building. But while Spleef was the first minigame, it didn't take long for other minigames to start rapidly popping up and quickly overtaking Spleef's popularity. Now, because of how simple Spleef is, it would be a bad tier. But because it was the first minigame, giving it a bad tier just doesn't feel right. So Spleef is a faulty tier. Skywars. Now, Skywars is a minigame where you're dropped onto a small island surrounded by the void with other islands and players also surrounding you and wanting to eliminate you. It's basically like Skyblock PvP. And that's actually what the original Skywars was based on. The original Skywars map was just 4 Skyblock islands with a chest in the middle. And after that map came out, people seemed to really like it, so it kept getting reworked over time until we got the Skywars you see today on servers like Hypixel. Now, what seems to make Skywars so enjoyable to people is its fast-paced quick matches that can only last a few minutes, and are usually filled with pure chaos. But while those quick matches and chaos might be fun for some, for others who like to play defensively, it might get a little annoying. But with all that, I think Skywars is a good tier. The Walls. So The Walls is a pretty early minigame that came out in June 2012 and was actually made by none other than Hypixel. Now, I know you're all wondering, and yes, I can confirm that this game mode does have walls. In fact, there are 4 of them, or 1, I don't know, but either way, in the minigame you are spawned in one of 4 sections of the map, with each section being divided by walls. There's a timer that counts down, and once that timer hits 0, the walls would drop and everyone would battle with the resources they gathered while the walls were up. This minigame was particularly fun because it didn't really matter if each team had 2 players or 20 players, because each section usually had enough resources to go around. But while this minigame does seem fun on paper, in actuality it could get really annoying, because you spend 15 or so minutes getting ready for the big war. And then once the walls would drop, everyone would usually just die within a couple of minutes. And if they didn't die, then players would usually just be underground crouching and waiting it out, which isn't particularly fun. I don't want to do this, but the walls is a bad tier. Hunger Games, also known as survival games. Now, while Spleef was the first ever minigame, I think Hunger Games was the first really big minigame. Now, Hunger Games is a minigame based off of the movie The Hunger Games, where just like the movie, you start on a platform in a circle surrounded by other players who are all your enemies, with chests filled with loot in the middle of that circle. And once the game starts, you could either grab loot from the middle chest or just run away and explore the rest of the map. Also, you can't break any blocks except for leaves, and once you're eliminated, there's no coming back. It's really like the original Battle Royale. But what originally made Minecraft Hunger Games so popular was a massive YouTuber Hunger Games tournament that had YouTubers like Captain Sparkles, Ant Venom, and Syndicate, among others, all versing each other in the original Hunger Games map. This was huge and it made people want to eagerly play Hunger Games. So servers everywhere like the Hive and Mineplex started adding Hunger Games to their servers, and Hunger Games continued to be the biggest minigame for quite a while. But what about the minigame itself? Was it good? Well, if you ever played games like Fortnite or Apex Legends, then you know the intense feeling of playing a battle royale like Hunger Games. It's intense, scary, and all around fun. Honestly, Hunger Games is a best tier. Bedwars. So Bedwars is a game where you spawn on an island surrounded by the void and other players wanting to eliminate you. Now, it sounds like I've said this before, and that's because Bedwars is really similar to Skywars, but with one big twist. Everyone gets one bed on their island, and as long as that bed doesn't break, then you could respawn as many times as you want. So as you could tell, it's top priority to keep your bed as safe as possible. But what makes Bedwars so good compared to similar games like Skywars is that since you have an objective to defend, which is your bed, you have a chance to play this game either aggressively or defensively, unlike Skywars and Hunger Games, where you're usually just constantly rushing forward. Also, it seems like Bedwars games last long enough so you're satisfied, but never go on too long to where you're just bored. And the fact that you could respawn as long as your bed doesn't break gives players a feeling of ease, so you're not constantly worried about falling into the void. Bedwars just feels like anyone could get some level of enjoyment out of it, and that's really impressive. I think Bedwars is a best tier. I did it. There you go, I did it. Not that I really had much choice because I'm being forced to make this video, but I did it.